Dove Cameron is officially done staying silent as critics flood the internet, claiming she's lost her spark. And this time, she's clapping back with honesty, confidence, and absolutely zero apologies. Over the past few weeks, social media has been exploding with side-by-side clips of Dove from her Disney Channel era compared to her recent red carpet appearances, interviews, and performances, with people constantly asking why she doesn't look the same, sound the same, or carry herself the same way anymore. Comment sections have been packed with nostalgic fans saying they miss the old Dove, while others bluntly accuse her of changing too much. And now, after watching these comments pile up day after day, Dove is finally setting the record straight in a way that feels powerful, emotional, and impossible to ignore. And the internet is absolutely eating it up. Dove made it crystal clear that the version of her many people are clinging to is frozen in time, a teenage girl with platinum blonde hair, nonstop smiles, bubbly energy, and a carefully polished Disney image that was designed to feel cheerful and safe. Meanwhile, the woman she is today is 30 years old, emotionally aware, creatively bold, and no longer interested in shrinking herself to fit a childhood memory. She explained that growth changes how you speak, dress, express emotions, and even carry yourself, and that expecting someone to remain exactly the same for over a decade is not realistic. It's actually strange. Dove emphasized that evolving isn't a betrayal of who you were, it's a natural part of becoming who you're meant to be, reminding everyone that maturity should be celebrated, not criticized. The actress who first captured hearts on Liv and Maddie and skyrocketed to global fame through Disney's Descendants franchise says the so-called spark people claim is missing was never something that disappeared. It was simply youth, styling, bright lighting, scripted cheerfulness, and a brand built around teen entertainment. According to Dove, nothing about her true personality faded away. She didn't become cold, distant, or joyless. She simply grew into adulthood. The softer tone in her voice, the darker hair, the bolder fashion choices, the deeper emotional presence, all of it reflects someone who has lived real life, faced real pain, learned real lessons, and emerged stronger. It's not a loss of sparkle, it's depth. And she didn't sugarcoat just how strange and frustrating it feels to be criticized for something as normal as growing up. Dove openly laughed at the idea that people think she's a completely different person now, explaining that the biggest difference is time and experience, not happiness, passion, or personality. She pointed out that every single human being evolves from their teenage years into adulthood, and somehow celebrities are the only ones expected to stay frozen forever for public comfort. In her words, if she were still acting exactly like her 18-year-old self at 30, that wouldn't be impressive, it would actually be concerning. Her growth, she says, is proof of healing, self-awareness, and personal development. But this conversation goes far beyond hair color, makeup, or fashion choices. It cuts straight into how society treats young stars, especially women. Dove revealed that after leaving the Disney World, her life wasn't some smooth, glamorous transition. Behind the scenes, she went through intense emotional growth, grief, mental health struggles, identity exploration, and the heavy pressure of stepping out of a child star box that Hollywood loves to lock women inside. She talked about learning who she really was when cameras weren't dictating her image, about facing pain that forced her to mature quickly, and about choosing to become authentic instead of endlessly palatable. Rather than keeping a bubbly persona to please audiences, she decided to live honestly, even if that made some people uncomfortable. And that authenticity now shows up everywhere. It shows up in the music she creates, in the roles she chooses, in the way she speaks, and in how confidently she owns her evolution. Over the last few years, Dove has shifted toward emotionally layered acting roles, darker and more meaningful storytelling, and deeply personal music that reflects real life instead of childhood fantasy. Her songs explore heartbreak, healing, self-worth, identity, emotional scars, and growth, topics that resonate with adults who have lived through real experiences rather than cartoon-perfect storylines. Instead of pretending everything is cheerful and perfect, she allows vulnerability to lead her art, and that honesty is exactly what many fans now connect with the most. She also made it clear that there was never some dramatic Disney breakup moment where she tried to shock the world with a sudden transformation. There was no calculated rebrand, no plan to erase her past, no attempt to reject where she came from. She simply kept working, kept growing, followed her instincts, and naturally became who she is today. The issue, she explained, is that while she evolved, some people emotionally stayed in the past and now struggle to accept that time has moved forward. And that's where the backlash really comes from. Because people aren't truly upset that Dove changed. They're uncomfortable that her growth reminds them that their childhood is over. The kids who watched her after school are adults now. Life is heavier now. Responsibilities are real now. And seeing Dove mature forces people to confront that reality, that time passed faster than they expected, and nothing stays frozen forever. Since her comments went viral, the public reaction has been massive. Thousands of fans rushed to defend her, flooding social media messages of support, praising her for speaking openly about growth, mental health, and breaking free from unrealistic expectations placed on child stars. Many pointed out how unfair it is that female celebrities are constantly criticized for aging, becoming more serious, or shifting their image, while male celebrities are applauded for maturing and glowing up. The double standard became a major talking point across platforms. Some fans admitted they feel nostalgic for the Disney era, but acknowledged that no one should be forced to live inside their teenage years forever. And the loudest critics? Many suddenly went quiet, because Dove's response wasn't messy, defensive, or angry. It was calm, it was logical, it was honest, and it made complete sense. She emphasized that while she appreciates the love people have for her early career, she's allowed to love who she is now. She doesn't owe anyone a permanent personality. She doesn't owe anyone blonde hair, nonstop cheerfulness, or a frozen Disney smile. What she owes herself is growth, mental peace, self-respect, and authenticity. And that message has hit hard across the internet. In an industry that constantly pressures young stars to remain stuck in the past, Dove Cameron is proving that evolving isn't losing your spark, it's discovering your true self. And honestly, many fans now say her spark never disappeared at all. It simply transformed into confidence, emotional strength, maturity, creativity, and self-worth. So the next time someone says Dove Cameron isn't the same anymore, the truth is simple. She isn't. She's grown, she's healed, and she's stronger, bolder, and more real than ever before. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.